I remember my father telling me, at least I had my own bed when I grew up. He shared his bed with about 6 or 7 brothers and even sisters when he grew up. And gee, how can you go to sleep that way, just in a small bed with 4, 5, 6 other brothers in the same bed? But he certainly knew how to sort of cooperate in such a small bed. But they didn't have such a great time. They loved each other very, very much. So sometimes that we think that the wealth will give us such a huge property, but it comes at a great cost. And one of the biggest costs is how hard you have to work, how many hours you have to spend just paying for such a big place. You can only be in one room at a time. And sometimes that we, as an example, as a counter-example, we have our monasteries where we live. And I enjoy taking people to see where I live. Even years ago when I lived in a bigger place than I live now, and there was a big room, maybe 3 meters by 2.4, with a little walking path in the front. And I still remember about 10 years ago taking a group of women who were visiting the monastery. It was a local women's group who wanted to do weird things on an afternoon and never been to the monastery, and that qualified as being weird. And when I took them to see my hut, my room, I always remember this one of the girls turning around to me and saying, "Wow, if only my house were this small, I'd get all my housework done in half an hour." And she looked at my simplicity with a lot of envy, which is the other reason. Huge houses take a lot of maintenance and a lot of work. And you haven't got the time. Number one, you're working so hard to pay off the mortgage. And number two, you're having to work so hard to maintain the place and keep it clean. And you never manage to get all the things done. So isn't there something wrong about that?